This program is designed to provide general information with regards to the subject matters covered. This information is given with the understanding that neither the hosts, guests, sponsors, or station are engaged in rendering any specific and personal, medical, financial, legal, counseling, professional service, or any advice. You should seek the services of competent professionals before applying or trying any suggested ideas.
All right, if it's Tuesday, you know we're live as usual. This is season number 5, episode 2, 128 live shows in a row and counting. And obviously, I'm just happy to see everybody here. Everybody's got smiling faces, like the song, Smiling Faces. But hey, we're live on Talk for TV, Talk for Media, K4HD Radio, streaming on over 100 outlets around the world right now as usual. Worldwide TV Network, WomenOnTV.tv, and iTube 247 out of Franklin, Tennessee. I'm going to have everybody go around and introduce themselves in a minute, but Chef Rachel Roberts from Houston, Texas, Linda Steele from Chicago, Illinois, Howard Wiggins from Brentwood, Tennessee, Morelia, I call her once because she only needs one name like her dad, the Rhinestone, with a little spicy taco thrown in there. The host of Bless Your Heart, Bless Your Heart show, Morelia out of Nashville, Tennessee. We got best-selling author Nancy Potter from Houston, Texas. Vocally Tosh, I wanted to call her something else. Vocally and something else Tosh I came up with a couple weeks ago from Miami, Florida. Yes, and then Terry Marie. And one of let's see, Rachel's guests, fans are over there.
Daddy.
And then with all of this stuff going on, so. Here's the thing about this show. We're all friends and we're all in the same industry doing many, many different things. And I couldn't be happier for everybody, especially those authors and those artists and things like that. So, when she's that board member, she does a lot of things at Mott Haven, the culture club there. I love the art. I love the stuff that she does. Cheryl does. Ruth Chase does. Alois, got to mention that. What else? She is, we call her the Rhinestone. She's got her own of the Rhinestone and the Outlaws, her own company, but she does a lot more than that. But she's also on the board and she does event coordinators, but she really does more than that. She really runs the joint for Southern, Women in Film and Television in Nashville, Tennessee, because she's laughing because she does. We all know it, don't we? Wink, wink. And then with that, that's Morelia because she's more than that, and she will talk about that in a minute. And then when it comes to this young lady, let's see, where do I start? She's a legendary acting teacher, founder, Creative Center for the Arts. Let's see, LA Acting Conservatory, which I've never been there, but all of my friends have said it's wonderful, it's great. And when I say friends, I mean Gerard Butler, Salma Hayek, Chris Rock. Yes, Michelle, they're all of my friends, and I've interviewed them for years. So when I can call them and I can say hi, I'm like, give me the lowdown on Michelle, what's she really like? Let's put it this way. They're always up for awards, whether it's Golden Globes, Oscars, Independent Spirit Awards, you name it. She is that teacher. She's that entrepreneur. She's that founder. She's a lot of things. And I love Miranda's Victim. If you've never seen that movie, it's a great film. And she's going to talk about where it's streaming. And I think I'm done embarrassing her. But here's the thing. I can't wait to see this movie called The Italians because I don't know. I've been cross-country going to film festivals. I don't know how I haven't had a chance to see it. But I don't care, Michelle. I need to see this film because I'm a movie whore. So with that, Michelle, take it away. Tell us what this film is like because you're a great director. When I saw Miranda's Victims, I'm like, this is her first film? This woman can do everything.
Not my first film, but a first film of a biopic. Yes, I love Miranda's Victim. I now say that it was Donald Sutherland's last movie. And I had the honor to work with him because it was just, the most incredible thing to have him come on set and be part of the movie. And it came to me, and I realized that it was about the Miranda rights, and nobody had done the story about that, how it came about. So I felt it was an important story to tell. And I asked other people to be part of it. Abigail Breslin, who's also in The Italians, and Andy Garcia and Cal McClock and Ryan Phillippe and Luke Wilson and Brent Sexton and Enrique Murciano, Mireya Nuss, Emily Van Cam, Josh Bowman, I'm sure I'm forgetting people, Dan Loria. It had a great cast of people that came and became part of it. So thank you for watching it. I'm definitely proud of that movie. I think it's my 6th movie. So I've been at it for a while. I do a little Botox here and there.
Hey, you're not the only one. Here's the thing about this, Michelle. I'm not that actor, but I always want to make sure my actor friends are around the world. We have a lot of people watching around the world. Got to say hi to Jack Gillian. He's in Germany. They did a FaceTime with him on stuff coming up for next year. There was our friend in Portugal, our friends in Brazil. Jeremy Vern Wort says hi, talking about his book. We're always promoting books. There is more. He's one of our added co-hosts because we like him. So, Michelle, when it comes to things like that, when it comes to books, when it comes to casting, when it comes to the things that you do, what is it that you're looking for when people come to you and want to work on their craft? What is it that brings something to you if you're writing a script or someone says, hey, will you take a look at this? How do you do these things?
I'm just looking at how passionate people are. Everybody talks about being passionate, but true passion comes once in a while. And it's hard. I think it's hard to live in this world and to hear no's and to encounter obstacles and to stay positive, even though we know that that's the way you're going to get things, is by putting it out in the universe and being positive. But sometimes it's not easy. I have to remind myself of changing my thoughts, because sometimes I can spiral into that place. And it has to do with the amount of obstacles that you have to overcome, right, on a daily basis. So when somebody comes to me with whatever, I look for their energy. I look for their passion, their commitment.
Nice. Linda Steele, tell everybody who you are. You get a chance to brag. We haven't had you on in a long time because you're always busy on Tuesday nights, but we still talk about you. So it's good to see you, Linda. You look good.
All the time, Linda. We love you.
I love you guys. It's so good. I'm so glad to be here. So I am I'm an international best-selling author. I am also a personal trainer and a nutrition expert. The book was great, but it was just a little period of my life. But in real life, I'm a nutrition expert and personal trainer, and I run a gym now in Itasca, Illinois, called Hamilton Lakes Athletic Club. And I have a staff of, I don't even know how many, but they're all fantastic. And so that's why I've not been able to be on the show. But my gosh, I've missed it so much. And I'm actually, Michelle, I dabbled in acting just a little bit. I had an opportunity to be on a show in a movie called Anomaly. We are still looking for funding, but I did actually film the trailer for the movie, and that was such an amazing experience. So I have no acting experience at all. I hired somebody from Masterclass. You're familiar with Masterclass?
Of course.
And I worked with a couple great people. Terry Wickett is the director of the movie. He's directed a bunch of different movies as well. But I worked with William Ostrander. He played Buddy in the movie Christine. I'm not sure if you're familiar with him. He was fantastic, and it's the director who will make or break you in your acting experience, but also the other actors on set. And both of them made me feel so comfortable. They knew that I was not experienced, but they really made me feel comfortable. I have a couple really funny stories to share maybe a little later, but it's really, I can say that was, if that's on anybody's bucket list to, try acting, you really need to follow through with your dreams. It was really fun.
Chef Rachel Roberts.
Hi. Michelle, I encourage you to watch. I have a little show in the mornings called Coffee Talk. It's on social media stuff. And I wish you would watch even just one, because I bubble with lots of energy and passion. And I think it's a great way to start my day. I think if there's any kind of, even if maybe I wake up and I don't feel 100% in line, after Coffee Talk, I'm like right back into that, great positive place. Anyway, that's what I was thinking about it when you were talking. And I loved that trailer. I got to see this movie because I'm Italian, and I watched your trailer right before we came on here, and it's funny, and it pulled me in right away. And some of the things Brian sends me, I'm like, nah, but yours didn't. Yours was, I want to watch that. And Linda, it's so good to see you. Beautiful Linda. Morelli, I've got on your daddy's shirt that Brian gave me years ago. And I love you guys. Y'all are like legends. I'm in Texas, and everybody, your dad's name, people say Manny. Everybody, everyone knows who y'all are. So this is a fun night to have everybody on. And Nancy, I love you. Nancy and I are like neighbors. How are you, Nancy? Love you. She lives probably like 10 minutes from me. It's so funny. Yeah.
So I'm going to spearhead into this. So what Linda Steele left out is she was one of the country's best trainers. And she did own her own gym. And she's all about women empowerment. She knows what it's like to be that business owner. Chef Rachel Roberts is a really, really good chef. She, when she puts things up there, I'm like, my mouth starts rolling, and I have to call her automatically, say, save some for me, even though I'm not even in the area. And with that, let's go to Morelia. Go ahead, Morelia, tell who you are.
Oh, my name is Morelia. I also go by the Rhinestone Heiress. I've been staying quite busy lately. I got the show Bless Your Heart, and which we're about to air off of Roku on our channel Flag, starting into the new year. But we've been doing a lot of fun shows and a few new great fun episodes coming up. We had Howard come and visit in the studio and be a co-host one day. That was a lot of fun to have a man's point of view with all us ladies on set. And I used my property for the WIF students to film on, so that was fun. Got to let them do that. I'm in the works on writing a bit more than I need to. I kind of procrastinate on that, but I'm going to put a couple of books out that I have in mind, and I got people who are interested. And I'm always at the museum. I mean, I'm constantly on the groove or the move, for that matter. I'm at the museum at Mount Haven right now. We have George Rodriguez' Blue Dog, an exposition. I'm dear friends with his widow, so I had them be able to have Blue Dog inside the museum right now. So we're gonna have some big parties coming up. His wife Wendy will be here in town. I'm hosting a brunch on Sunday, December 8th at my dad's house, and it's for a fundraiser for having her here. So, staying busy as best as I can.
and next with that, we got Howard Wiggins. And the thing about Morelia, when her dad has a party, it's not like 20, 50 people. No, there's hundreds of people come.
There's
hundreds.
I know, I throw them.
Yeah. So with Howard Wiggins, hurry up. Tell her who you are and everything. Go ahead, Howard.
I'm Howard Wiggins. I've got a part where I play a guy named Rufus on Passion TV. And my wife and I went to Leaper's Fork the other day, and the table beside us had 4 girls in blue jeans. This old man comes up to him and says, I'm into fashion. What kind of blue jeans are you wearing? And then after he said that, he said, stand up and twirl, which is what I say in the movie to the girl that supposed to marry me. And I said, he must have saw my movie, because he picked up that line from me in that movie. But anyway, that was so fun. And then let's see, I got another one who's going to take care of me that's shooting in Hollywood coming up. And I play a cop in one here called, let's see. Without Warning. I got so much stuff going on. I can't remember what all I'm doing.
and one thing before we move on to Vocally Tosh, tell her who your dad is. Go ahead.
Little Roy Wiggins plays steel guitar for Eddie Arnold. When George Morgan died, Lori Morgan's father, he she toured with my father on the road. My stepfather raised Brenda Lee because Brenda Lee's parents died in a fire. And from that point on, he raised her. He was her godfather. And so I'm country music royalty.
Yes. And Brenda Lee documentary is coming out later this year because I talked to Barbara Hall about that. Vocally Tosh,
Yeah.
Miami, Florida. Go for it.
Hello, good evening, everybody. I'm so glad to be here because it's a special week. You know, it's Thanksgiving week, and one of the things that I'm very grateful is that I get to live every day and, you know, continue on my dream of being in the entertainment industry and the marketing industry. So, and to have all of you guys here on a Tuesday, like, I'm grateful that I get to be a part of this. You know, I've been with Brian for 4 years. He discovered me in 2020, right in the pandemic when everything was going on. And I was, you know, singing my little heart out and having a dream of, you know, becoming a singer and singing my own songs. And, you know, Brian believed in me since my first song. And now we're, you know, co-hosts. So that's something I wanted to, you know, say thank you to Brian, because I'm always, you know, grateful for him and for, you know, the show and everybody here. So everybody, my name is Natasha Rumbos, or Vocally Tosh. I live in Miami. I'm a singer-songwriter. I love to sing and write Spanish music. That's all you can hear from me in all different types of the Latin genre. I can do some dembow, some salsa, some reggaeton. Like, I love digging into all the different genres of the Latin industry. And yeah, I've been doing it for 4 years. This past 2 weeks have been just really beautiful. I released my newest single called Vete, which means go away in English. And this was my first project that I released this year that was fully mine, because I've been doing a lot of collaborations this year, and I felt like I was a little disconnected from like my own project. And, you know, life happens, and sometimes we go through ups and downs in our careers and what we're doing. And yes, that's the cover art. I did a collaboration. I brought an Orlando artist that he does Afro beats, and we performed for the first time last week. And let me tell you that I've never experienced so many people like getting up and dancing and vibing to like what we were giving off. And it was a very special moment. It was a very special moment to encounter and, you know, experience that. And just a week ago, I released my official music video, and I'm just so blessed with like God, because in the first 24 hours, this has never happened to me at all with any of my other music videos. It was surpassing like my first music video. Like, it was like at 400 views. Now it's almost at 700 views. And I'm like, I don't know where everybody's coming from, but it's, you know, I'm happy that it's been a journey of 4 years, and, you know, we're going places. We're seeing elevation. And yeah, I don't know if we're gonna show it now or later, but maybe.
We're going to show it a little bit. We want to take a look at this trailer first, and then we're going to come back and talk to Nancy, and then Terry, and back to Michelle. Go for it, Ted.
Forgive my father, for I've sinned.
I have nothing to confess.
I don't want to be here, Joe. I would like to hear from you.
This is my girlfriend, Lily.
Hi. We've been seeing each other for about 9 months.
9 months?
I actually don't go to church.
It's sacrilege.
It is.
Disappear.
She's not Italian. Okay, she doesn't want children.
Talk about the rough first impression.
You don't know the half of it.
Now she insults my cooking.
And I love her anyway.
I found this bra in the laundry room. It doesn't belong to me.
I needed someone to be there for me.
I want a divorce.
Right. Mom put you up to this? Your mother's not talking to me.
Hold that top!
I need to see her again. How about we go over there for dinner?
I hate meatballs.
I ate the dinner.
Another dinner?
And if you thought the first one was bad,
Rimbambita! What are you doing here?
I thought I was invited to dinner.
Well, you're not.
We'll have dinner, then I'll wheel Mom right into the closet after dessert, okay?
Gina, what are you doing here?
I'm Nico's girlfriend.
Oh,
This pot roast tasted like sheet.
it was your recipe.
Joe DiMaggio is overrated. Everyone cool it.
Nobody told me you could hire a clown to a dinner party.
I also might have resorted to violence at one point.
All right, get out. Oh my God.
I got 2 words for you. Mama Mia.
Mm-hmm. Angelina, bring me some popcorn.
You are making a point. You know you are absolutely making.
Nice.
I don't think
Very
it's fun
nice.
movie to like watch.
That looks so good. I love it.
Can't wait to see.
Michelle, talk about putting this in film festivals. It's not easy to get a lot of films in film festivals to be supported. I know what it's like to go through that process and pick them for Hollywood and Beloit International Film Festival. And I always tell people, no matter who you are, think it, take it as an honor, because we go through a lot of films that we have to pick, and some good ones are never chosen. They don't make the cut. That doesn't mean they're bad. That just means that there was some better. So anytime I see something and I see that they've been in, that's a great thing. Talk about this film. This is your latest baby. And I purposely don't like to watch trailers because I don't like to predict it. I like to be surprised. I love this because I hadn't seen it on purpose.
Well, in this case, this film festival circuit for the Italians served as wonderful test screenings across the country to put it in front of different audiences, especially when it's a comedy and you want to hear where the laughs are hitting. What is the response? So it started with this film festival called Los Angeles Italia Film Festival. It was at the Chinese Theater. And it's the same person, Pascal, that does Ischia and Capri in Italy. And so there were a lot of like real Italians that came. And I was a little nervous because, it's about an Italian-American family. So I don't know how the real Italians would react. And it was so funny because, there's something about Italians. They came and they were like, the names of the actors were on the seats. But because there weren't enough seats, like a bunch of people took out the names of the actors and sat in their seats. So then when the actors came, there were no seats for them. It was completely sold out. And I don't know how the Chinese had us do this, but people ended up sitting on the floor, on the sides, on the aisles. So it was a great first festival and people laughed quite a lot. And we thought, oh, well, maybe we have a lot of friends in the audience. Then the second festival was in San Jose called CineQuest, which is a really nice film festival in a historical theater, the California Theater. And the same thing, people reacted and laughed a lot. Then the next one was San Luis Obispo. I was in Italy because they asked me to direct a movie in Italy, in Puglia, with Andy Garcia and Toni Collette and Alex Pettifer and Eva Di Domenici. You're hearing, it looks like I'm on the street because I'm actually in New York City tonight, but I live in LA. I feel like, and I'm staying in my sister's apartment. Whenever I do a Zoom with her and I'm in LA, I go, are you on the street or are you I'm in an apartment with the sounds of New York? So, and then we went to Italy and we did film festivals in Italy. And just now we won last week at the Los Angeles International Film Festival for Best Movie. And here in New York, we're going to be here on December 12th at the Big Apple Film Festival, which I'm excited about. And that'll conclude this festival circuit. I mean, yeah, I agree with you. It's hard. The film Miranda's Victim was the opening night movie at the Santa Barbara International Film Festival at the Arlington
I was there.
Theater.
That's a great film.
That was like a big one, and, it's a crapshoot. I think it's a business, these film festivals, obviously, because there's a lot of like entry fees. But if you can do a few and test the movie in front of audiences and get feedback, which is what I really did with this one, I think it's incredibly helpful. I mean, I love film festivals. I had one before COVID. It was called Cinema at the Edge in Santa Monica, and it ran for 10 years. And it was the real gems of the edgy movies that, the real indie movies. And we had a great, in fact, the last one that we did was February, right before COVID started. And I'm happy to say that we are rebooting it and it's starting up again in September. And I believe in film festivals. I think they're very helpful for the filmmaker to, travel with their movie, experience seeing it in front of audiences. So I'm really grateful for the circuit that we had.
So we have a couple of real Italians, Linda Steele.
Oh,
we're gonna go back to that picture in a minute, Rebel. Hold on. Linda, tell her your background, which is based on your book, and then we're gonna go to Nancy and then Terry, and then we'll show a couple photos. Go ahead.
So my book is it's called Nerves of Steel, and it's just about taking, your childhood trauma and trying to, be an adult and go through adulthood while not bringing that into every relationship that you encounter. And, but at the very end of my book, I have a letter to a family who I found out through Ancestry that I'm actually related to. My biological father is actually a mobster from Chicago. And so that was something that I just found out when I was like 50 something years old. And so that was really an interesting find for me. And I knew I was Italian because my dad, the man who walked on water and the man who raised me, he was Italian, and I knew I was Italian, but then I found out that I was actually a different kind of Italian. I was actually an Italian princess, daughter of a mobster in Chicago. He was the head of the Chicago Mafia in the late 60s, early 70s.
Wow.
Nancy Potter, tell her who you are. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Nancy Potter. I released my first book last year, about a year ago. It's based on the life of my great-grandfather, who, in the turn of the 19th to 20th century, he was just the consummate entrepreneur and managed to take himself from living on a flatboat floating down the Mississippi to one of the wealthiest men in the South. And so I follow his rise from poverty to extreme wealth. And he traveled, he had companies in Europe and Mexico and all over. And so it's a great story. It's based on his life. I have a lot of filler. And there's just a lot that goes on that time in history, and I weave the history in with the stories and the family lore that I heard all my life. And so it's gotten very good reviews. It's a bestseller, and I now have started working on the treatment because I want it to be a TV series.
Nice.
And she sold over 500 books, but it's a 584 pages. Is that right,
No,
Nancy?
it's 554 pages.
See, but that's still a great thing. And so Michelle, I was telling her, no matter what, it's not easy to sell books, and a lot of people know that. Linda knows, and a bunch of other people know. Terry Marie, tell them who you are. Go ahead.
I'm Terry Marie. I'm in Los Angeles, California, and I've been with Brian the longest. And he knows that. Like about 10 years. I started with Brian when I won my first fitness competition, which was Muscle Beach. I placed first in my class and second overall. I went on to winning several NPC fitness shows. I was Miss Fitness LA. So like Linda, I'm a big gym rat. So it's pretty much my life. I say that's what keeps my sanity is going to the gym. And, I'm in my 50s. And so I really want to inspire, women to take care of themselves. You don't have to fall apart. I'm currently going through a very traumatic period in my life right now, which I want to talk to Linda about because I am writing a book. I just don't know how to put it together and then how to mask certain names without problems. So,
I had to do a lot of that.
So this last year has been a real learning experience. Has a lot to do with elderly care and elderly neglect and family. And sometimes you go through trauma later in life, but hopefully it's made me a better person. It's been very challenging, but I'm still here. I'm still doing red carpet interviews for Brian. Now that things have calmed down a little bit, I'm going to be going back into my art. I've been acting off and on my whole life. I've done a lot of comedy work. I was at the Growlings. So I do want to get back into improv. That's probably my favorite type of performing. Just getting out there and being silly. And I think laughter is really the best medicine. And I like to, once I'm in a good mindset, I am really good at taking shitty things and making it funny because, that's the best way to deal with stuff. Yeah. So, but I have a lot of things I'm passionate about. That's why they call me nonstop. And, I think Linda knows, and I do want to talk to you. It's like, you go through some of these things, and sometimes you go through these things when you're a kid. Sometimes you go when you're older, but it's always a learning experience, no matter how hard they are. So I talk to Brian every day about it. Today, I had a little bit of a meltdown because sometimes life is difficult. Sometimes life is difficult, but you know what? You have to keep moving forward. And Also, I'm in the world of orthopedics. I work with athletic trainers and physical therapists and orthopedic surgeons in bracing for knee and back, any kind of bracing and support for orthopedics. So that's fun.
Hey, Michelle, tell the audience what does golden box mean?
Well, I also teach acting. I've taught acting for 20 something years. And it's a toolbox for actors where they put all kinds of tools, technical tools that you learn from different techniques. If you've studied like Meisner, Stella, Adler, or Uta Hagen, or Lee Strasberg. And then every time you go on set, every time you go on stage, you get a job, you learn tools. Those go into the golden box. And then, of course, life lessons, which happen every day of your life. Those also go into this very unique, special toolbox that artists have. Only they have the key. It's personalized, customized to them. And that's what we help actors build, their very own golden box.
Can you give the audience a little picture of, we'll go back to that picture in a minute. Give me 60 seconds. Talk about your dad, because you're worldly. And a lot of people don't know that you have a worldwide experience in your family. And that's very, very important. Because I've always said the best people came from the theater. At one point, the Australians were coming over, and I was there when Russell Crowe and everybody was coming from there. And then you had everybody coming from London theater. New York has always been that. You can go back to when I think what's his face, who did To Kill a Mockingbird. Just the black actor, Brock Peters, just thinking about all these well-known people. Are we still getting those people of that quality this day, do you think? Michelle?
What's the question? Are we still getting?
That quality of people coming from the stage, just coming up, getting a chance.
I think so. God, I'm in New York. I just saw 2 incredible plays in the last 2 days. I saw The Hills of California, directed by Sam Mendes. So I'm sure it's coming from the London stage. I mean, beyond extraordinary. It just leaves you. It's going to win every Tony. I'm certain of it. And then Adam Driver is performing at the Lucille Lortel Theater, a play directed by Neil Pepe called something, Hang On To Me, Darling, I think. Kenneth Lonergan wrote the play, and just spectacular work. And then he's the only really big, well-known actor in the play. And I think every other actor they're working actors, but not as well-known as he is, and it's done on purpose. Really incredible work. I just think there's so many people coming from different parts of the world. So you asked me about my dad. So, my dad in the 60s opened the first William Morris agency, which is now William Morris Endeavor, in Paris. He became the president. When I was a little girl, he would bring me to work. I was really close to my dad, and I would play with my dolls under his desk. And all of these huge stars would come in and talk about their vision boards with my father. And so I was privy. Of course, I didn't completely understand it because I was, 4 years old, 5 years old, but I was privy to these, and I knew there were big stars. So my dad helped shape careers of a lot of great people, Edith Piaf and Charles Aznavour and Benny Goodman. And, the list goes on and on. Anyway, I think that there's so much talent in the world. And last year I went to London and saw some great plays. I'm a big theater person. I go to the theater all the time, but I also watch movies all the time, obviously, because that's what I do. I'm always in awe, and I feel it's always a blood transfusion for me to go to see a show in London or anywhere else in the world or in New York, or to watch, a great movie. I think it's also inspirational, and we're lucky to live, I think, in a time where there's so much extraordinary talent.
And I have to say this, she was, we wanted to get Michelle on earlier, but we're always booked 4 months in advance. And then I just remember I got to thank Lori, your publicist, because she's like, no, Michelle wants to do it. She's going to be in New York, but she's going to see a play. So she was scheduled to be in New York. She is in New York. And it was going to be, she might be at a play, literally. So she ended up being on the show. So that's important. So I just wanted to make sure.
I'm going to share something with you. So I was earlier on today, I went to the Soho House and I guess snuck in the pool because then they told me it was closed. And so I don't know if it was the food or the pool or what it was, but I was feeling at 7:30, I wrote an email to Lori and saying, oh my God, I don't know if I can do this. I feel like I have food poisoning. I'm not feeling well. And then there was no way to get in touch with anybody. So I wasn't sure it was live. So I somehow got it together. But you can't really tell that I was feeling like that, 40 minutes ago.
Wow.
No, you look beautiful as usual. All you girls do. Even Howard does. So, he's the dapper one out of all of us, not me. We've got to show some photos because Morelia, a lot of you all really come from royalty in a way. Talk about Morelia. You received this award. This is very, very important. Southern Women in Film and Television. I was very happy that you got that. Talk about that.
Yes, that's the Alice Award, and it is such an honor to be, even with the group of women that won that award, being one of them. I got the Woman of Influence, and it was really lovely that they finally, it's that feeling that you've been acknowledged, and anytime you're acknowledged, it's just a lovely feeling, But it was just an honor, and it was so funny because one of the winners was also a rocket scientist. Just wanted to say that.
I remember that person.
Made me feel extra smart for some apparent reason.
Well, and the thing about that, there was, that last picture, Howard's in the back eating breakfast with the white hat. That's Howard. And then Nancy's over there someplace with Mike. But when I was so happy that my friend won this because she does a lot of great things. She is so talented, and I'm just honored. And by the way, Morelia, the interview that we did in 2019 is at 707,000 views and still counting.
Oh. Keep on counting.
That's just that one. It keeps going up. So Rachel, what else has been going on with you?
Well, yesterday I was playing around with the news people at Fox News, and I love it when they call me up and invite me out. So I do a lot of coffee talks out there, and working on a possible show, TV, something maybe happening in Miami. Tosh, I want to include you on all that. Yes.
I'm literally about to come into the screen right now.
Yeah, I was telling the director I've got a person in Miami that would be perfect because she speaks Spanish and English, and she's doing a little acting, and so she'll be So if you hear from, let's talk afterwards about that. But anyway, all sorts of fun things coming up. I'm not just a chef. I do other things as well, and life is fun. It's good.
Howard Wiggins, talk about what room you are and what you're wearing, because you are one of the world's best leading interior designers. So we got to always talk about that. Go for it.
I'm just in my guest bedroom. I haven't really touched it in years.
That doesn't even look like a guest bedroom, does it? Stop lying.
No.
Everything
Michelle,
else,
he's got a mansion. It's room number 37. He's always
no. I just keep it. I'm a maximalist. I keep adding and adding and adding.
I love a maximalist.
I just keep adding more to it.
Love it.
And what are you wearing?
Just cowboy hat, and this is really what I wore to work. So I didn't change anything. So this is the way I dress every day. I mean, every day people give me compliments, and I look forward to it. But it starts conversations, and I wish more people would do it. Because when you're dressed up, people come up to you all the time and will make friends with you. And if you're not, they just ignore you. So it's like, it leads to things when you dress up. So more people go out and do it.
Absolutely. And Linda Steele, what's been happening in the world of fitness? Because you've been really, really busy, and macro-made meals. I can't wait to get some.
Yeah, so I've been really busy with the club that I took over. I moved my entire clientele over from the gym that I used to own to this gym. It's not too far away, but I had only been here for a couple weeks, and they asked if I would, and I was just here as a trainer, and they asked if I would take over the management. And so now I'm the senior operations coordinator or senior operations manager for this gym, and it is keeping me so busy, but the membership is loving it. Again, my staff is loving it. We do have macro-made meals here in the gym as well. So we brought product in. They didn't have product before to sell, not even protein shakes. So now we have protein shakes, but we also have meals. And In fact, we have meal prep coming up this week. You know, we don't have a week off. It doesn't matter if it's a holiday. People still want their meals, and you know, they're still ordering. So we're like clockwork every week getting those meals out.
I love filling in the blanks. So, you know, so Michelle, she was number 1 and number 2, the best fitness trainer in the country. And she finished number 2 to the person who trained her. She knows what it's like to own a gym and to bring these things in. And when she got rid of the old gym, everybody left because Linda wasn't there. Now, I went to that gym and I've stayed at her house, and I know how in shape and what she does and put it this, and her family's really great, and her daughters are just wonderful. I have to say that, and her mom's watching too. So I have to say that because people forget when they're on, they forget things that are happening. Nancy Potter. So I did talk to Cindy Cowan on a couple things, so don't be surprised if something happens. But your book is getting traction. I'm continuing to talk about things. I always say never one and done when it comes to the books. Now, because I'm in Georgia at my mom's house right now, I have Jeremy's book. I had another author, Eric Foji, sent me something. So they're sending me all these books from around the world. But it's the core people that I really like to help promote. Locally, Tosh, I got some really good things coming up for all of you, especially when I start to travel to Brazil next year and to Greece and to Canada, all the stuff that's been putting in. And we might have a couple more photos to share before we end, because we got about 7 minutes left. Michelle, what do you want the audiences to get out of seeing this movie? Because when I think of the Italians, I think of Linda. I think of Rachel. I think of my Italian friends, how I would spend time with all the time. I was there to help push that movie, My Big Fat Greek Wedding, #1, when people at the American Film Market didn't like it. And I said, this is going to be a hit. You know, so George Pinocchio, myself, and 4 other people were there to push that movie. It became the #1 independent film of all time. So I love when I find those gems, and we talk about great films on this show all the time. Michelle, what say you about getting the audience to see that film? Yours.
So the very last card of the movie, you know, after the movie's over, it says, for my mother, Loredana. My mother was Italian. She was born in Italy. A lot of my childhood was spent in Italy. And so I come from from blood memory, from a big Italian family. And, but it could be any family, you know, it's universal. Family is universal. So the movie's about forgiveness. It's about family, loving your family. And also it's about Italian food. I think a lot of people that have watched the movie have said to me that they want to have some Italian food afterwards. So, and you mentioned that My Big Greek Wedding. So, you know, Leni Kazan in this movie, The Italians, my whole cast is phenomenal. Starting with Rob Estes, who I've worked with before, Abigail Breslin, David DeLuise, Perry Reeves, Olivia Lucardi. I'm forgetting people, but Leni Kazan brings the house down. She is effing hilarious. She is.
Chef Rachel Roberts, get your social media links for everybody.
Rachel Roberts Recipes and Rachel Ann Roberts. You can find me either one of those, and watch Coffee Talk in the morning.
Howard Wiggins.
Howard Wiggins Facebook. I've got a Christmas book that features my home out this year. You can Google Andrew Martin Volume 3 and see it again. So just Howard Wiggins Facebook, and of course on Movies, Reviews, and More.
And we'll be showing that book because I have it. We're going to be showing it next week, and we're going to. And also, Howard is a great dancer. His views of 9 to 60 seconds still continue to go up. I still don't get it, but I'm happy. I just love when you're dancing, Howard. Morelia, talk about this. Being that woman in that macho male dominant era for that you come from, you standing out, it's not easy. Anytime I get a chance to see you, I'm always telling people about you. You're the one that keeps these things going. Your brother might not be happy with me, but it's true. Go ahead.
No, it is true. I am really the backbone of it all. And you know, it's been very difficult being brought up when you have strong male dominance in your life. And I was brought up in the entertainment industry. All my life I've been around it, involved in it, wanted it to be my life, what have you. And I was brought up to be cute and quiet, and guess what? I was cute with a big mouth. I've never been afraid to voice my opinion, speak up. I mean, if I, you know, I'm, you know, thank God for my mother, who is the core of who I really am. I mean, has been gone for over 35 years, but truly she left that essence in me where I've been able to have that. Thank God, because I don't know what I would have done half the time. But, I mean, I've been grateful. A lot of things come to me, and then later they find out who I'm related to. So then they put it all and mix it up, and then it ends up coming back. They always tell me I told you so, but they never. If they would have listened to me in the first place, I think I could have saved a lot of people a lot of money and a lot of time.
Exactly. And we got to talk about Monhaven, because the last time I was there, Bernie Taupin, Elton John's writing partner,
Oh yeah, that was
you
a
guys
fun
did
day.
you guys did a fabulous job of promoting his art and his book, and not keeping, because Bernie didn't want to talk about music. That's not easy when you have someone of that caliber, is it?
No, it isn't. And we always get a pre-warning how each person might be who's being represented, but he was a lot more willing, I felt, to speak about it somewhat. But he really wanted you to come there to know him as an artist,
and an author. Yes.
Yes, and what he specifically of his art that was there, and it was great. It was like a reunion tour of all the people that were there from the music industry that showed up, and just kind of seeing everyone that has known him and who he's for. I mean, when they hear their name, the first thing you think of is Elton John. It's kind of common for most of the songs that he's written, but they were all like, "Oh, he did art." I go, "Yeah, he's got art."
Yeah, and Howard Wiggins went to the most expensive one. That's how good Howard is.
Well, we were, I mean, we really are a jewel box museum. We're hidden. Anyone who finds us, they're all like, "Oh my God," we're not, but we're so localized. It's almost impossible that you don't know that where we are. And, I have a funny history of the place. I make crack jokes about it all the time. In fact, when I first moved to Nashville in the early 90s, I dated the guy who lived in that mansion.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Interesting.
So every time when I hang up art, I get a good laugh and giggle. And that was my old room. I probably shouldn't say that out loud. But
give your social media links for everybody. Go ahead.
Well, of course, you can find me at Rhinestone Heiress on Instagram. You can find all the stuff on Bless Your Heart. We have Instagrams now set up in our Facebook, Bless Your Heart TV, Nashville. You can find me at Rhinestone Air on Twitter, Rhinestone Heiress, YouTube, Morelia Cuevas, Facebook, and Rhinestone Heiress. I'm all over the place.
Vocally Tosh, we got a couple minutes. Let's get to your videos. Go for it.
Oh, yes. Rebel. This is when Rebel is ready, you can just bounce that right there.
Bam, bara, bam, bara, bam. Vete pa'l carajo que me tienes cansada. Yo sé que soy mucho para ti. Bam, bara, bam, bara, bam. Por eso quisiste controlarme. Algo que casi lograste, pero no pudiste engañarme. No pudiste engañarme. Yo sé quién soy, no me cambies. Hay mucha gente que no se deja ver. Por eso yo me voy de aquí con mis amigas que son los que me hacen feliz. Yo me harté de no pensar en ti. Tengo un propósito que te fue también.
All right.
Ambition on this.
Video. Yeah. That's
So
like
good.
the 20 I totally recommend you guys to watch the whole video. It's a whole vibe. The mannequin is the star of that video besides me and the other singer. But the mannequin really makes the video, to be honest.
Give your social media links real quick.
Yes. Go.
So Tosh, give your social media links.
Oh, yeah. Vocally Tosh on all social media platforms. And NatashaRumbosMusic.com. And yeah, I find all my music on all streaming platforms. Just search Natasha Rumbos and you'll be listening to me.
All right, Terry, real quick.
You can find me on Facebook, TikTok. On TikTok, I do TikTok Shop. So if you want to get some deals on some gifts this year, follow me on TikTok because I do product reviews every week on there now. And then Instagram is and then my email. I'm sorry, my website is terrymarieofficial.com. So nonstop Terry Marie on all platforms, and then terrymarieofficial.com.
Nancy Potter, go ahead.
NancyPotterAuthor.com is my website, and on Facebook and Instagram, it's Nancy Potter Author.
And don't forget, we got Black Friday coming up. It's a perfect time to support artists, authors,
And buy books,
director, and buying books all throughout the weekend, whether it's Cyber Monday or Giving Tuesday. And I'm going to run out of time to talk about this movie called Space Cowboys, which is really great about people parachuting out with a car and everything like that, because it's about 2 minutes.
Stable without rocking.
Now, let's see. We'll play 30 seconds of it. Go ahead.
So that skydivers could stay in it for a while and we could get some shots. Then you can go up and be more of a cinematographer. Like, I want to fly up and get this shot, and I want to kind of move around it this way. I want to, you can capture it so much more beautifully, I think.
The things that they do, dropping everything out, parachuting. It's an excellent movie. It's at film festivals right now. And go out and see some movies. I keep telling everybody, go pay homage. It's nothing like seeing it on the big screen. Right, Michelle?
Absolutely. Go to the movie theaters, for sure.
And give your social media link.
It's michelledanner.com, Michelle Danner LA Instagram.
All right. And I got to thank everybody. It's not easy putting all these things together. Thank you. It's good to see everybody. And as I say, have a good night tonight, a better day tomorrow. You see someone without a smile, please give them one of yours, because the world needs it. I'm Brian Sebastian. This is Movie Reviews and More. And this is my great family here. And it's good to see them. We will see you.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.